He's getting the reps that he needs, that's for sure, and he's got to learn from his errors because he's made a couple. But once he gets in the game and once he gets into the flow of things, he's been very good, and his numbers speak for themselves. So I think what we have to do is we have a better understanding through the coaching system or the coaching him what he is good at and what he needs to what he can handle, and that's the key to this whole thing. We have to eliminate the intercepts, but if you took the intercepts out of the game, the past 2 weeks he's performed at a very high level. So, but the intercepts are something that have to be contended with. So we got to put him in the right position to play and get him the right keys. But there's no question he's improved. But we still have. I mean, he needs to continue to evolve just like the rest of them, and he is. He's learning what we're asking of him to do, and we're figuring out what his strengths and what's the things that we need to work on him with throughout the week.
Going back to Southern Utah, this is year 2 of Coach Warren there for our coach there. Is the same thing kind of Iowa State? Is this team's probably better understanding what he wants them to do, or maybe they understand what they want to do more?
I think so. I think there's a carryover. I mean, he took over last year. I think he was on the staff before, so I think they're carrying over all the same things they did with Coach Lamb. And so they just extended that process, and now they're in pretty good flow, and this quarterback has been there a while. So it's very similar stuff they did in years past, but it's now became his football team. So they're much more, just by the rhythm of their team right now, what I see today and what I saw at the end of last season is you can see more experience, more confidence in them, and they know what they're supposed to do. So they're a good football team. They're a really good football team.
Does the altitude have any effect out there? I'm not exactly sure what the altitude is, but it's probably a little higher. Does that have anything you can prepare for that? What do you got to do? What do you expect for that?
No, we got hills around here too, so it's not gonna, it's not that big a deal to me. I mean, I've heard that from guys, and it was just something I've never really believed in. I mean, I know there's a difference, and I know there's a factor in games, but it's nothing that I'm gonna present, because I don't feel it's gonna be the difference in the game. I just think we have to be prepared to, to have guys ready to roll. But just like in this football game, there's 100 snaps in that football game the other night, and we went into overtime, and plus we lost a lot of guys to injuries in the first few plays of the game. So whether you're playing in the humidity at Iowa State or you're playing with 106 plays in the dome and going into overtime, and all those things you have to be conditioned for, and you have to be able to adapt to your environment.
Great segue. Any update on Marcus and Jalen as of now?
Right now they are, really I don't have any details. I would say they're questionable is probably the best way to answer that right now, is the report that I saw this morning. It's first day out after those injuries and those things. There's swelling that's got to leave. So I'd say by Thursdays, that's going to be a decision that you'll see if they're practicing by Thursday.
Same thing with Serbiak and Sweeney. I think they both came in and out. But,
Yeah, Ezra's probably out. Ezra is probably out. His is such a way that I would guess that he is out. And who's the other one?
Bryce Sweeney.
Oh.
I mean, he had to be helped out once, but
Yeah, I think Bryce will be fine. Ezra is one. Ezra's probably the only one that I'd say would be out this week.
If this does go to a shootout like you wrote it into, obviously if you're going up against a Lamar Jackson type player, not having, if you don't have Marcus and Jalen, how does that affect your offense?
Oh, it affects it because, all the things that you've already mentioned. I mean, when you don't have the depth, and if it is some environment that wears you down, I mean, your depth is a key to this whole thing. But we just got to get the next guy ready to roll, and we'll get through all that. The injuries do add up after a while, but that's football. I'm sure they've got their share of them too. So. No, we just got to evolve this football team. I was very pleased. I told you, I think the first time we played Iowa State, I thought we played good, and I don't say that often when we don't win. This past week, you go watch that film, I thought we played very good, and then we gave up the plays in the secondary, but they're really not as concerning probably to me as to other people, because I knew what I was playing and I knew what we were trying to stop, and we did what we were supposed to do. So this week will be a true test of where we at as a football team going against somebody that's very equal to us, and somebody that's got a lot of momentum right now. So I think this will be a great test for us, and we got to go on the road. So.